Today we're looking at the craziest DC comic statue because it's not really a DC comic, even though this is Joker, Batman's arch enemy. And he is a samurai? What the hell? And what's he doing with the sword in his mouth? Does he think that's sexy or menacing? Well, let's try it. Oh, fuck. Got my tongue. As the Extreme channel is pushing towards 50,000 subscribers, these are just a few of the statues we are giving away on the journey there. If you want to know how to win one, stay tuned for later in the video. Hey guys, today we are checking out XM Studios' Joker from their Samurai line. I think they call it Orochi or some weird shit like that. But very excited, this is version B. It has all the additional switch outs. However, I have imposed like version A. So they made two versions. One, version A looks like this. Version B has all these extra switch outs. Now, what's interesting about this piece is if you're a follower of the channel, you guys know that I hate to look at work in progress photos. But this one was a little bit more unique. I really didn't even look at this piece. Granted, I saw a few pictures here and there, but I knew that I have almost the entire Samurai line, and of course you have to get Joker. He's the quintessential villain when it comes to Batman. Even before today, I had no idea there were snakes or anything like that on this statue, and I gotta tell you, not only am I pleasantly surprised, but if there's a level above that, like ecstatically surprised, you know, like when you're 20 years old and your girlfriend tells you she's late and then you find out that it's nothing, I'm that kind of excited right now. So today we're going to do an in-depth review of this unbelievable piece by XM Studios. I'm equally excited because recently I actually moved all my XM Studios Samurai line, so I think I have 7 statues right now and 5 more on order, upstairs. If you want to see what those look like, check out the Extreme Channel Instagram, Facebook page, or TikTok. But once again, with the Samurai line, XM Studios knocks it out of the park. Now with these, it's a little bit controversial. So this is kind of their own concept, but they wanted to do something different. So when DC gave them approval years and years ago, they didn't know how fans would receive this. And the first piece they came out with was their Batman right here, which is unbelievable. I've actually done a video on the history of these pieces right here that you can check out. And for the most part, I'm all in. I think I have every single piece ordered. But the Harley Quinn, wasn't really a big fan of that one, and I missed out on the Poison Ivy, and I'm still looking for that around retail. Once again, I'm not disappointed, and I think that this Joker here actually has the potential to be one of the front runners in the Samurai line, which I did not expect at all. So let's go ahead and dive in deep to this guy. We're going to kick it off with concept, and if you haven't seen any of my other videos on these things, so like I said, XM Studios, the creator of this, wanted to do something different with some Batman and DC characters, and they decided we're going to samuraize everybody, because who doesn't like samurais? They're cool as hell. And what's interesting is they've done a lot of traditional samurai heritage, but they've also put a modern twist on a lot of these. So for example, Catwoman drives a futuristic bike. And you'll see that with some of the switch outs as well. But conceptually, they all have this ancestral Japan type vibe, and this definitely has that as well. On the base, most of what the base is made up of are these snakes. Now, it's very unclear if these snakes are statues, if they are real snakes, if they're magical snakes, and I think that it's cool that that's really left unanswered. Maybe it's unanswered because I haven't bothered to research it, but you see some destroyed Japanese buildings in there along with some rocks, and Joker is in a walking pose. He's walking forward, and he is really garbed out. What I mean by that is so much cool traditional stuff, but with a twist so that you know that it's Joker. I absolutely love that. It might be the colors that make this pop, but I love it. He has a cape on the back on top of everything. He's armored up, but apparently not on his torso because that doesn't need to be protected, I guess. But you can see some cool tattoos, his skin. He's actually petting one of the snakes with the left hand. With the right hand here, he has a blade, and he's actually licking it with this portrait. And all of the portraits and switch outs, they still tell a very similar story. They tell of the fact that Joker is maniacal, that he is crazy, that he is scary. I love that. I love all the ties back to the samurai and the heritage and things like that. I love the concept on this piece. It might be their best concept of the entire samurai line, but it's definitely a 5 out of 5 in my book without a doubt. So design, like I said, this is the version B. So on top of everything you see here, there's a lot of different switch outs. Let's look at those. First, the right arm. You can have the right arm hanging down as you see here, and it can be holding a large cleaver. This cleaver also comes with the A version, I believe. I might be wrong. But on top of it, you have a money bag with, I'm not quite sure what this is. It's a bag that he's drawn a face on, and it's hanging down, and you can pretty much put this anywhere on the statue. Or you can switch it out with a giant sword that actually goes backwards. Now, I've already put this back in the box because I don't think I will ever use this. Or a crowbar with blood all over it, which is awesome in my opinion. But then he has a switch out arm that will allow you to put this sword right near his tongue where he's licking it. And now for the portrait. So the first portrait, my least favorite, has a samurai mask on it. And we'll talk a little bit more about this in Paint and Sculpt. The other one is a more modernized portrait with his hair down. Still evil, evil, sinister Joker, for sure. And then you have the one with the samurai helmet, and he's licking the blade. Now, all of these are interchangeable, so even when he's holding the blade up here, just for shits and giggles, I decided, let's see what this looks like with a different portrait, and this is what I got. This looks scary too. It almost looks like he's telling someone, I'm going to kill you. So fabulous switch out options in my opinion. Let's see how it all went together with the unboxing and assembly. Extremely large box, which is expected from XM Studios, with the art box that's almost impossible to get the lid off. Your standard white foam with the straps, nothing unusual there. It was 2 different layers. The layers were each wrapped in wax paper and plastic, as you can see right here. Lots of pieces. I was very surprised at how many different pieces there were, especially since I wasn't really following this piece and didn't know what to expect. It's extremely heavy as well, I may want to note that. They do have those new COA authentic metal plaques that all of them come with, and then the traditional paperwork, an assembly guide, and an art print. Everything fit fantastic. There is a little bit of a seam line on the snake head back here. Otherwise, that's about it. I'm very impressed. Let's get the dimensions on it. So the widest point, it is quite a bit bigger because there is so much going on with the base, is a little over 19 inches. The deepest part is probably a little over 16. And then the tallest point is right at 25 and a half. So it is a very tall statue. Might change a little bit if you'd use a different portrait. You might get half an inch or so. So design-wise, very impressed. I think they gave a lot of different options that people will love. I like everything they did with the base. It's not perfect, but I still think it deserves a 5 out of 5 on the score. Paint and Sculpt. Now, while the last 2 categories got a 5 out of 5, I think Paint and Sculpt is actually even more impressive. Kind of a spoiler what the scores are going to be, but let's see if you agree with me. Check it out. Let's look at some of those switch outs first. So while I love the mask on this, like I said, it's kind of my least favorite, and I think because it's harder to tell that it's Joker, but it's still done immaculately. Still done good. It's good. So I like how his hair is tied up in kind of the traditional format. You see that with a lot of the pieces. And the mask is just beautiful. I love the evil smirk on it. I love the detail of it. You know what? I actually might keep this out simply for that fact. His other portrait I equally like, more the modern with the long hair. Such a sinister look. I like the work around the teeth, the paint, kind of like glistening effect, and then his eyes, the red they painted in there on top of the green. And then I like his skin color, so it's a mix between pink and white. And then the reds around his mouth, that giant Joker mouth. And I'm not going to look at too much of the accessories, but really quick just to show you the blood up close on this. That is really cool how they did that. But on the actual statue, so let's talk about the snakes first. As I said, I don't know if they're supposed to be alive or they're supposed to be a statue or maybe in between, but I like what they did with them. I like the colors. It's this brown, maroon, red mixed in with the gray of almost a statue aspect of it. And then the faces of them look fantastic. You can see all the detail in there, which I think is pretty incredible, especially when you think about the colors they had to use and kind of the format. Forked tail at the back here. Now, while there is a ton of stuff going on in the back, it's not too much you're gonna miss out on. So I appreciate that. Now, the bottom of it is kind of this mix of almost like a flowing dirt. See the whites and yellows and browns in there. You don't see too much of it on the front because most of it's covered by the roof, essentially, that it looks like he's standing on, and the snakes. But that little roof part, which I like quite a bit, I like the colors. This whole thing is so vibrant, and I think that really just adds to it. So we don't know if he's on the roof or he just destroyed a building. That's what I tend to think, especially with this red wooden pillar down here. I like the grains in this. But really, just the base is incredible. Really nice job by XM Studios. But equally impressive is Joker. I love his cape, how it's torn in the back. The texture on it, kind of the way it's flowing, then it's burnt on the edges. And then the coloring they used around those holes in the edges look great. But he's pretty pristine. So starting at his bottom, these textured socks with the traditional sandals, I love. And he's armored up, and I love the different choices of purple they used, the different colors. The way the light's reflecting off this makes it really hard to focus while I'm filming here, but you have this brighter purple at the bottom, the skull on the knee pad or shin pads right there on the armor. Then this kind of almost warrior traditional costume he has with the detail on it. You have the green with kind of two, it's hard to tell what they are. I mean, it's a design, obviously. It's not writing or anything like that, but mixed in with the gold, and it's more of a matte purple. I really like. His belt looks amazing, wrapped up multiple times with the gold trim on the side. A lot of texture on this statue, which is pretty cool. Then look at the inside of his coat. These ornate designs on this gold aspect of it. And it's gold on top of gold, but it looks really good. Sculpt on this is just phenomenal. I like how the coat is stitched up here. Again, they use gold and even a little bit different color purple, and it might just be the sculpt of it, the texture of it that's creating that effect. But again, kind of burnt at the edges, just like the cape is. And here you see the armored shoulder pads, very similar to his dress down here. These awesome gauntlets that he has. Different colors of purple. Again, some more ornate designs. Some black padding in there. Then let's look at his torso. These tattoos are awesome. So there you really see the purple on his skin mixed in with the white, but the tattoos look great. You could literally spend quite a long time on this particular piece, just finding new stuff or just admiring what they do have. So many layers to it, both figuratively and literally. Now his hair looks great on this. Tons and tons of hair. It looks too much when it's not on there, but when it's on there, it looks great. I like the flow to it, the different colors of green, the strands you can see pretty well. His helmet just as beautiful. Like I said, a lot of the ornate designs. Definitely my favorite portrait for sure. And then again, very sinister look, and I like that. The green eyes, green eyebrows, huge mouth, a little bit of glistening effect on his tongue. You can see his teeth in there. Overall, this piece is beautiful. The whole samurai line really is like a work of art, and I think this is, you know, a big case to show that, hey, this really is museum style pieces. Really well done on every level by XM Studios. So much detail in this guy. Like I said, you could kind of get lost just staring at it and finding new areas. I just found one down here that I missed. There's a log with, you can see the inside of the grain. It looks amazing. So while I don't always score paint and sculpt together, it's a 5 out of 5. I mean, both are fantastically done. Really impressed. Now, with all that being said, this did command a much higher price tag than normal. So traditionally, a 1/4 scale statue from XM Studios is anywhere in the range from 1,000 to 1,200 Singapore dollars. That's like 800 to 1,000 US dollars, depending on the exchange rate. This guy was about $200-300 more than that. You're looking at about 1,150 to 1,300 US dollars plus shipping. Shipping was an additional 200. Me, I'm $1,400 all into this, paying at retail. That's a lot of money for a 1/4 scale statue. But as you see, this is the same size as essentially like 2 premium formats from Sideshow Collectibles, which would be about the same price. And as I was saying earlier, this really screams museum quality to me. And I think the Samurai line, especially the Batman pieces being so popular, I think it's going to hold its value. Made around 700, I can't remember the exact number, it was 688 or 788 of these. Then I think the A version, they actually made less. I want to say it was 200 or 300. Go ahead and comment below the exact if you know that, but I'm too lazy to look, and there's a computer right here and I won't do it. By the way, that's what I'm always looking at. People are like, why do you always look to your right? I look because I get email after email after email, and I want to make sure the world's not burning. Because some people want to watch the world burn. Damn, that was clever. I just thought of that now. You know, sometimes I injure my hand patting myself on the back. Anyway, I think the value is a 3 out of 5. I think the value is a 3 out of 5. That's still a tough pill to swallow, even though I think this is worth every penny. We will be giving all of these statues away, plus additional ones, at every 5,000 subscriber milestone. To win one of these statues, all you have to do is make sure you've liked this video, you've subscribed to the channel, you've hit that bell notification, and then just drop a comment below. Every 5,000 subscriber milestone, we are going to do a random drawing and pick a random comment and give one of these statues away, plus some additional ones I'm not showing right now. The more videos you comment on, the higher your chances are to win. Now, does this have the X factor? Is this a 5 out of 5 statue? Like I said, I really do like this. I think it has the contender to be one of the best, if not the best, of the Samurai line. I have a few more coming in this year. I think there's at least 2 more arriving this year, if not 3. So eventually I'll do a countdown, but I do think this has the X factor. I think this is a 5 out of 5 statue. It's amazing. I love it. I love every piece of it. I cannot wait to put it in the display. Let me know what you guys think. Do you think it's one of the best in the XM Samurai line, or am I just dick riding Joker, which he'd probably like that. But let me know in the comments. Drop me a like on your way out. It really helps the channel. And if you haven't, you want to see more stuff like this, hit that picture of me, hit the bell notification. Talk to you guys soon. Take care.